So imagine you're hanging out with your friends, right? And someone drops a hilarious joke or even a weird story. Suddenly, everyone's laughing, maybe even tossing around inside references that only your group gets. That feeling you share? Like an invisible thread tying you all together? That's kinda what symbolic convergence theory is all about. Hi, I'm Dhiya Kirana with the student ID number of 24 10 86 10 26, or just Lou. Here, I will be breaking down complicated communication stuff into fun, bite-sized stories. And today, I want to tell you about this cool theory that explains how groups bond over shared stories, symbols, and experiences, and how that shapes the way we connect. So, symbolic convergence theory was developed by Ernest G. Borman, a communication scholar, in the early 1970s, around 1972. He introduced this theory to explain how communication creates shared group consciousness through storytelling. At its heart, symbolic convergence theory, or SCT for short, is about people coming together through symbols that can be anything from words and jokes to stories and images, and creating a shared reality. When a group shares these stories or symbols, they start to converge, meaning their thoughts and feelings overlap, and suddenly everyone's on the same wavelength. Think of it like a group chat where you keep referencing a funny meme. Over time, that meme becomes the symbol of your friendship, a little pocket of shared meaning that feels exclusive and meaningful. SCT helps us understand that this kind of shared meaning-making is what builds community and identity. So, SCT is built upon a few assumptions. 1. Communication creates shared meaning, not just deliver information. 2. Group consciousness emerges through storytelling and symbolic interaction. 3. People are naturally drawn to shared fantasy themes that make sense of their experiences. And last, 4. Reality is socially constructed through communication. In short, reality isn't just out there, we actually build it together through stories that we share. In communication research, SCT is often used to analyze how groups build shared meaning, especially in online communities and social media. For example, a study on TikTok communities might explore how users share certain narratives, like relatable student struggles or main character energy, that become fantasy themes. These themes then shape how users interact, comment, and even see themselves. Another example could be a research on fandom communities, where shared stories about celebrity or a series create strong emotional bonds and group identity. So, even without looking at a specific thesis, SCT is widely applied in analyzing online group communication, digital fandom culture, political messaging and group identity, and organizational communication. Back when SCT first developed in 1970s, communication mostly happened through face-to-face interaction, like television and print media. But now, everything has changed. Today, symbolic convergence happens through social media platforms, memes and viral contents, online communities and group chats, and digital storytelling such as TikTok and Instagram. So, instead of just sharing stories in small groups, now people across the world can converge instantly through the internet. A single meme can create a shared meaning among millions of people overnight. In other words, the core idea stays the same, but the medium has evolved massively throughout the years. SCT isn't just about a cute social thing. It actually affects how a group makes decisions, solve problems, and stick together, whether it's a family, a club, or an online community. These shared fantasies create a sense of belonging and even influence real-world actions. So, next time you find yourself laughing at an inside joke or bonding over a shared weird story, remember, you're experiencing symbolic convergence in action. It's that simple, yet powerful. It's a process of creating shared meaning that turns a bunch of strangers into a team, a family, or a tribe. Stories are more than just stories. They're the glue that holds us together. Thanks for hanging out with me and exploring a little communication magic. I hope you start noticing those tiny shared moments everywhere. They really are kind of amazing. Bye bye!